YouTubers, how's it going? Mike Martin's here, Mike Martin's channel. Let me just tilt my brim here a bit for the sun. I'm on my beautiful balcony here in my new house. You can follow the segment in my channel called Living the Dream. I finally bought a house outside the city, and I'm motivating people to get out of the city. You don't need to live in the city. I bought this 11-bedroom house with 7 washrooms and unlimited amount of space I need for under $300,000 all in. 270. So I wanted to relay this message to you guys, and it's a good section of my channel. It's called Living the Dream. You'll see it there. Anyways, let's get to this article here. I really want to read to you guys. It's really good. It's called 5 Facts That Defined Canada's New Construction Housing Market in 2016. And this is a good article. It's by Buzz News Canada. So I'm going to read it for you guys. Dated bungalows selling way over asking in super competitive Canadian housing markets often grab headlines, but 2016 was hardly quite the year in Canada's new construction housing market. That much is clear from even quick scan of the Buzz Homes Toronto and Vancouver New Homes Outlook, which each include an overview of national markets, developments, and over the past year as well. The comprehensive reports that work off Buzz Homes research team provide an in-depth look not only where the market is headed, but where it's been recently. Here are 5 facts that define the new building segment in 2016. So the thing is, it's really good to have this kind of this mathematical equation that they do, and they kind of put in percentages and equations and stuff and find out where things are at. And that's following the trend in the market. But the problem is, it's really hard with the underlying stuff that the government throws in, right? They throw in this, and then they throw in this new buyer's home loan and this and that. You cannot factor those into your equation if you don't know when they're going to come up. But here goes. Let's look at this. Number 1, each quarter, a minimum of 170 new developments sold out in Canada. Look at that. Toronto had more cranes than any other city in North America last year. Clearly, builders banked on being able to sell higher number of units there, and they did, as the city consistently outperformed all others for sales, specifically among the 10 biggest census metro areas. The third quarter was the busiest for developers selling out across Canada, and Toronto provided the biggest boost during that 3-month period. 205 Canadian developers sold out. Toronto topped the list with 110 sellouts, followed by Vancouver, a distant second at 33 sellouts. That's a huge distance from 110 to 33. Number 2, half the top 10 most active markets for residential development were in Ontario. It's probably not unexpected that Toronto led all census in metro areas for the total numbers of active developments in 2016 at 1,132. Housing projects that are more than Vancouver, 552. Edmonton, 415, combined and accounts with 32% of the active developments in 10 leading markets. But 4 other Ontario cities were in the top 10. Ottawa, 228, Kitchener-Waterloo, 103, Hamilton, 102, and London, Ontario at 64, 2. 3. Canadian condo development increased by 11% on average. But new housing development is getting denser, according to Buzz Homes Notable Trends in Canada section of the national report. However, it's a story of highs and lows. The number of housing developments with units for sale dropped 10% at the same time, with the report reflects an increasing demand for the city living awakeable communities generated in part by unaffordable single-family pricing. People are being bought out of the market, just like Vancouver here in the last 10 years. People were being bought out. Silicon Valley, San Francisco, people being bought out of the markets. Sydney, Australia, Melbourne, everywhere. Number 4, Matamé Homes was the most viewed developer on Buzz Home. Matamé Homes, 122,376, 11 selling developments, 9 developments in registration, 1 pending development. A vast majority of house hunts start online, so a builder online presence is worth nothing. The major North American builder Mattamy Homes racked up the greatest number of unique visitors by Canadian projects on BuzzBuzz Home last year. Mattamy Homes' Canadian page has attracted a total of 122,376 visitors, while it's active in the U.S. and north of the border, touching the Toronto and Ottawa, Edmonton, and Calgary markets. Number 5. The median price of a single-family home in Hamilton is more expensive than in Vancouver. Trends are changing. The wave is coming from my east to your west, or east to west, or west to east, whatever you want to call it. The wave is getting there. It's no secret, Hamilton's housing market is hot, riding on the shoulders of Toronto's strong price performance, but it may come to a shock to see how pricey the new housing stock has gotten in Steeltown. In the fourth quarter of 2016, the median price for a single-family home in Hamilton was $1 million. Only Toronto was more expensive at $1,100,000. Vancouver placed third with a median of $976,000. So I wanted to read this article for you guys to let you know, and it's happening. So Toronto's going to have to put stringence on vacant homes. You're going to see lots of vacant homes, detached homes in Toronto, just like you saw here in Vancouver the last couple of years. You go for walks, and a lot of people are asking me, well, I'm watching your videos on the streets and there's nobody out. I know it's a Saturday afternoon at 4 in the afternoon, it's sunny, and there's nobody playing. But what are all those cars there? Well, I'll tell you what those cars are there for, and I found out. There are people that park there and they walk to the SkyTrain to go downtown so they don't have to pay for parking. So that's that. I figured that out. Somebody explained that to me. And I said the same thing. There's so many cars here. But the houses are all empty. There's people park and walk a couple of blocks to their house if they have extra cars, because they don't charge for parking on some of those streets there in uptown Vancouver. So anyways, I want to share this with you guys to get you guys the insight of what's going on. Like, it's really I'm here to motivate you guys. Powerful videos. I'm trying to motivate you guys to get out of the city. I think the city's a conspiracy, just like banks are, just like the banks, the Federal Reserve, all those kind of things where, moon landing hoax, world governments, all that stuff that people talk about. I think living in the city is one of those too. I believe that living in the city is like a brainwashed. You're brainwashed into thinking that you need to be part of a bigger group to be able to survive. I'm here. I'm being offered jobs everywhere. I walked downtown. Watch my other video, walking to downtown Merritt. I went with my stepson. We went out to see if there was a barber open, because he starts school tomorrow, because tomorrow's Valentine's. Tomorrow's February 14th. Plus, it's in a gorgeous week. And everyone's worried about the weather outside of Vancouver. We're actually having better weather than Vancouver's going to have this till the end of February. And March is already spring. Thing is, when you live out west, you got to remember something. Spring is true. What I mean by true means when spring hits, it's spring. Flowers and birds chirping and beautiful weather, and that's living out east. Like if you're in New York, if you were in Chicago, Toronto, Ottawa, places like that, it doesn't get warm till June or May 2 for a weekend. It starts to get better. But here in March, it's true spring. You can start planting your garden ready for the summer. You can start getting things done here. I'm motivating people to get out, check out the sites. Maybe take a weekend off. Take a weekend, with the wife and the kids, and maybe go up to the country, see what's going on out there. Communicate with people. I think there's potential in little towns, and I think people are brainwashed into thinking they need to be part of a bigger, this bigger thing to be able to survive. And the thing is, okay, when I was in Vancouver, it's like, there's not a lot of people in Merritt. I've talked to more people here in 1 week than I've talked in 6 months. Complete strangers. Then I've talked in 6 months in Vancouver, in 1 week here. Everyone's waving from their cars. Everyone's saying hi. Everyone's in a great mood. Everyone's happy here. Everyone's just so more chill here. The traffic is beautiful here. And that's what I'm trying to spread to you guys. The happiness of being outside. You know what I'm saying? So if you're out east and you don't want to come out west, I'm thinking like really up north in Ontario, or west in Ontario. I know like there's parts like outside of Windsor where it's still pretty inexpensive, and out in the country there outside of Windsor, Ontario, Leamington, Ontario. If you're out that way, you can buy cheap homes still. Windsor's still pretty cheap. There's a lot of places you can still go in Ontario, and you can start networking and actually build yourself up. I just want to motivate you guys to get out, enjoy this. Oh, I'm going to go fishing on Thursday or hiking. I'm not sure. I'm going to go fishing on Thursday, Wednesday. It's going to be just great weather all week. And it looks like I looked up the 28-day, 30-day forecast, and it looks like it's trailing into spring with nice weather like this. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to get you guys out of the city and out and about and networking. I just think it's a conspiracy. People are made to believe that they need to be part of a bigger network to be able to survive. But meanwhile, when I lived in Vancouver, and I noticed Vancouver is a very unhappy city, and the front page of one of the Globe, it wasn't the Globe, it was one of the newspapers, the free newspapers to give out the SkyTrain, saying Vancouver, one of the most unhappy city in Canada, and it's true. They're very antisocial. Nobody talks to each other. You don't know your neighbors. People just don't like. It's almost a burden. You walk into someone's restaurant, you want to go spend some money there. They look at you like you're a burden, like why are you here? I don't want you in my restaurant, you know? So I just was really tired of living in a place where I wasn't welcome. And I know when I'm not welcome. So I took my family. We bought this gigantic house. And I'm still trying to partition what the rooms are going to be, what the rooms are. I know I'm going to have a gym in one. Yes, and I'm not trying to boast or show off. I'm trying to get you guys out of the city because I think it's proper. This is Canada proper. You're looking at Canada proper behind me. This is Canada proper. This is like Canada, real Canada. And I'm not trying to badmouth or trash Vancouver, but it's just when I was there, it was really hard to make friends, really hard to, when I was there single, it was impossible to get a date. Impossible. The whole thing, like it's a whole kit and caboodle. It's the package is just needs repair. Anyways, I couldn't fix it, so I left. I ran away. But I think I'm doing okay. Anyways, comment below. Let me know what you guys think about this whole thing, about this article I just read for you guys. Very interesting article. Let me know. Comment below. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.